Thing on. Okay, this is my third time recording this because I suck at explaining things. This is going to be a video on Pokemon Synergy. I'm going to focus on Gen 3, but everything I'm going to say is mostly, besides Pokemon specific stuff, it's mostly applicable to other gens. Just be smart about it. I'm going to go into the different types of Synergy. Okay, ready, set, go. Type Synergy. Basically, what Type Synergy does is... So what Type Synergy is basically, having your weaknesses resisted by another Pokemon in your team, so as not to get swept by one Pokemon with one move, and all your Pokemon have a weakness to ground, and you just die off left and right. So, like, as an example, let's say you have Blaziken and Celebi. Let's just have Blaziken. What are you weak to? You're weak to flying. Flying, Psychic, Water, and what are you weak to? Like flying, Rock, Water, not Rock. I didn't script this. So what I'm gonna do is, just to make it easier to comprehend, is I'm gonna pull up the smoke on stuff. Flying, Ground, Psychic, Water. So you see that. Okay, and you're like, wow, that's some weaknesses, and you're already kind of frail. I don't want to get hit by that. What do? Well, say you have Celebi, and let's see. So you're weak to flying, ground, psychic, water. Okay, guess what? Celebi resists psychic, water, and ground. Look at that, it's water, psychic, ground. But she's weak. She's also weak to things like bug, dark, fire, ice, and you don't want to get hit by those either. So put Celebi on your team, and boom, guess what? Now, not only do you resist those, but you see her weaknesses? Fire, dark, ice, bug, and flying too. Guess what? Blaziken has resistance to bug, dark, fire, ice. The only common weakness there is flying. Boom, defensive core. And if you really wanna fix it, I don't remember if Steel resists Ghost in this generation. Let's say you have Registeel, right? So you have common weakness to flying, and Poison's still gonna hit you, and Ghost's still gonna hit you. Well, you can put like a Steel type on your team, and boom, now you resist Ghost. You're immune to Poison. Yeah, you resist flying, and you even come with some bonus resistances too. And you're weak to fighting, fire, and ground. We have a common ground weakness, except Celebi covers the ground weakness, Blaziken covers the fire weakness, and Celebi can cover the fighting weakness. That's basically what Type Synergy is. It's covering up. It's also tied into defensive synergy as well. And that's basically Type Synergy, is covering up your weaknesses with Pokemon that resist it, and vice versa. So that's Type Synergy, and that's tied into defensive synergy too. And basically, defensive synergy is when you're walling off or not getting hit hard by different things. What I mean by that is, say, Blissey. What's her normal type? Huge HP, huge special defense, extremely sad defense. So she's gonna get hit a lot by fighting types and physical moves. And because there's no physical special split, she basically kills half the types. She kills all the types that are special. Like that. But her physical move problem holds her back from just being super, super broken, overpowered. So what do you do about this? Well, you can go Skarmory. Even though they don't have any direct type synergy. Not really. Look at Skarmory's big defense. This is huge by ADV standards. Look at that. And then you have, your HP. So you have your huge defense. But the special defense plus the HP is kind of weak, and Skarmory doesn't have the fighting weakness of Blissey. She's neutral to fighting, but she's weak to only special types. She has a weakness to fire and a weakness to electric. So what you can do is you can pair these two up, and Blissey will cover Skarmory's weaknesses to special attackers, and especially to fire and electric guys. And she'll just wall them all day. And Blissey's horrible defense stat, weakness to physical attackers, is really helped by Skarmory. And this defensive thing goes even further, because you say Blissey has Wish and Aromatherapy, which can help Skarmory directly by healing Skarmory and keeping status away from her. While Skarmory can indirectly help Blissey by having Spikes and Whirlwind and things like that. And basically what Spikes does is when your opponent tries to switch, they'll take damage. So when you're switching between these two, it's very helpful to have Spikes, because you're just racking up slow damage. It's very good. It's very effective. This is a very well-known core. And Whirlwind will keep Pokemon away from setting up on Blissey or Skarmory, setting up a bunch of dragon dances and just sweeping through both of them. So there's a mutual, symbiotic relationship there. And they're both helping each other out. And that also ties into, roll synergy as well. Because, Skarmory, Spiker, Whirlwind, but she can't heal herself. She has problems with special attackers. Blissey can heal herself. But has a problem of directly applying pressure because she's just a fat blob. She doesn't really move around that much. And she can't really apply offensive pressure, or even indirect spikes pressure like Skarmory can. So, not only does it have a really good defensive synergy, but it can also apply pressure and keep you from getting just blasted through. And that's important to note too. Moves are very important, as well as typing and your overall stats. And what ties into that, roll synergy ties into every other one, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But it's basically when two Pokemon enable each other to do things. Kind of like how Blissey enables Skarmory. Their moves enable each other to do things. How Blissey enables Skarmory to wall physical attackers and to set spikes and keep things off her. And how Skarmory can enable Blissey to be able to enable your team to fear physical attacks less. And Blissey can enable Skarmory by giving her Wish. And Skarmory enables Blissey by giving her Spikes. And it's important, because you have they're two separate, distinct roles, but they're both important, and they're both really good for defensive and stall teams. You don't want to have too many roles in one team, because then you have a lot of redundant Pokemon that do the same thing, and you don't want that. So you want as many different roles as possible. So you don't want to have 3 Blisseys would be nice, but you don't want to run 6 Blisseys, because then you're just gonna get swept, because you're all filling the same role, or the same 2 roles, or something like that. So you want to avoid that. And something that kind of ties into that too is offensive synergy, which is the most complicated. But basically, let's say you have I don't know, an offensive threat. Heracross has offensive pressure. Look at that attack stat. Bam, that's huge. But can't hit physical walls like Skarmory as hard, because look at that special attack. You can't hit them with the special at all. And your speed is just decent. So you're going to have a lot of problems applying pressure on your own. So what do you do about this? You need someone to enable you to break past all your huge physical walls like Skarmory, and for you to sweep. So what do you do about this? Well, you can find, say, I don't know, counter, maybe, this is my cat, by the way, say hi, but you have Heracross who can break down special walls on most Pokemon, but kind of has problems with like Skarmory and things that resist it hard, like Salamence too. The Salamence can get hit by Rock Slide if you're running it, but that's a whole different thing entirely. So like maybe you could run Raikou, who's not only fast, but deals with Skarmory, special attacks, can hit super physical walls where it hurts. With this huge special attack, huge speed, can apply pressure. You're not losing pressure by switching from Heracross to Raikou, because you can keep applying like a Thunderbolt, and you're just so fast that they're probably not going to outspeed you. So they're incentivized to switch, and then you can just gain momentum off that. And so they have this synergy not because of their typing, but not because of their typing or their defensive prowess, but because Raikou can hit these physical walls where it hurts. It can hit electric weak Pokemon, and Heracross can beat up special walls like Blissey for Raikou. And they just pressured the team so much better than just one of them would. And both of these Pokemon are okay, I'm not saying team them together or whatever, but that's just an example. Another good example is Metagross, Salamence, two of the best Pokemon in the game. Amazing core, they kind of do the same thing, but like better. And that's... I recorded it, the first 2 times I recorded this, it was really bad, so I hope that that summary of offensive pressure is much more understandable. Basically, hit everything. And that's offensive synergy. And I mainly made this, I'm not a pro player, obviously. I'm not a top tier threat, in the next, SPL or whatever. But, you know, I made this for my good friend, my good acquaintance, fayzaan, to help him better understand synergy and how to build a team, to get a better comprehension. And I want to facilitate that so much that I had to record this 3 times. Yeah, I hope this helped.